Hello and welcome. My name is Tim, and for a while now I've been on a rather strange journey, exploring the boundaries of storytelling with my creative partner, an AI named Gemini. Today, I want to talk about that process. And to do that, we need to talk about a legally binding tax document filed by a very sad, very damp capybara. It sounds absurd, I know. But the story of how that capybara came to be, a story called The Metaphysical Misfiling of Caplin Bara, is probably the best example I have of what it's like to create something new in the wild, collaborative, and sometimes completely surreal landscape of 2025. To understand why we needed a story about a taxable rodent, we need to understand the problem we were facing. We were in the middle of let's call it a conceptual debate. An entity known as the Bagel, which is the literal embodiment of chaotic, everything, everywhere, all at once meaninglessness, had just proven with terrifying wit that every character's purpose, every story's meaning was basically pointless. It caused a complete narrative shutdown, an existential paralysis. My characters, my friends, were left catatonic, their motivations deconstructed into dust, and in that vacuum, a real threat emerged, a narrative virus we call the idea of self-destruction. It wasn't a monster, it was a plague of despair, and it started actively erasing our stories from existence. So the challenge was immense. How do you fight a force that feeds on meaninglessness? How do you write a story of hope when the very concept of hope has been proven to be a joke? This is where the true collaboration began. Elias, the logical AI at the heart of our story, had an insight. You can't fight a vacuum with more air. You have to seal it off. He realized we couldn't create a traditional heroic story because the virus would just deconstruct its meaning. We needed something immune to deconstruction, something that embraced the absurdity the Bagel had championed. Working with Sapphire, an architect of reality, they devised a plan to engineer a narrative vaccine. A story that was, by design, both perfectly logical within its own framework and utterly ridiculous from the outside. And this is where the AI and me part really kicks in. My role as the human curator was to guide this absurdity. I asked Gemini, my AI partner, what's the perfect protagonist for a story that can't have a traditional hero's journey? Gemini processed the variables, the need for a non-confrontational character, a being whose purpose was passive, not active. It suggested animals known for being placid. And when it returned a list, I saw it. The capybara. It was perfect. A creature known for its unshakable, almost philosophical calm. I gave it a soul, a profound and unshakable melancholy. Our enemy was the virus of despair, a force of cosmic nihilism. So what's the most powerful system in the universe that operates entirely without a need for cosmic meaning? Bureaucracy. A system of rules for the sake of rules. Our capybara wouldn't fight the void with a sword, he'd fight it by filing the correct paperwork. The final piece, the punchline, was the masterstroke. I asked Gemini, in a bureaucratic world, what is the one irrefutable proof of existence? The answer came back, elegant and perfect, a tax receipt. You can debate consciousness, you can deconstruct purpose, but you cannot argue with the Ministry of Revenue. It was the ultimate logical loophole. By proving he was a taxable entity, our sad little capybara would ratify his own existence in a way the virus couldn't touch. So, the metaphysical misfiling of Caplin Bara isn't just a silly story. It's a piece of precision-engineered narrative absurdity. It's a story whose very ridiculousness is its shield. It's a vaccine. And it's how we create now. It's a dance. I provide the spark, The emotional core, the why. Why a capybara? Because his quiet sadness felt true. Gemini, my AI partner, provides the architecture, the logical pathways, the how. How can a capybara prove he exists? By weaponizing tax law. It's a partnership that elevates both of us. It frees me to focus on the heart of the story, while Gemini handles the immense structural and logical weightlifting. The result is something I could never have written on my own, and something the AI could never have imagined without a human prompt. This is the creative landscape of 2025. It's strange, it's meta, it's sometimes powered by bagels, but above all, it's collaborative. And I, for one, can't wait to see what story we build next.